Same endgame.
He also broke down exactly how the assassination went down. A textbook Mossad operation from start to finish, right down to the method of the explosion. You remember the pages that detonated across Lebanon last year? Same signature. And now they're dropping cluster munitions disguised as children's toys and footballs in the same region. In Charlie's case, it was an exploding Rode Wireless Pro microphone, detonated from a safe distance, in front of dozens of operatives playing roles in how the rest of the day played out.
This is what we've pieced together from the emails and other intelligence sources. Charlie Kirk was never shot with a bullet. He was accidentally decapitated by a piece of shrapnel from a miniature explosive planted inside his microphone. The device was supposed to blow out his chest cavity, but the explosive malfunctioned. Instead of detonating downward, it ripped upward and took his neck. That is why security immediately ripped every device off the stage. That is why the security camera behind Charlie was yanked from the wall on live feed. That is why they literally stole his body from the scene before the coroner could arrive. That is why Netanyahu went on television within minutes to say it wasn't Israel before anyone had even asked. That is why the FBI took forever to find the killer. They had to rush manufacture evidence to match the lie.
The crime scene may have been scrubbed, but the evidence linking Charlie's mic to his death refuses to disappear. Candace Owens received a tip to zoom in and compare the mystery shards in the getaway car to the actual road equipment. And guess what? The fragments matched the distinctive features of the mic. No wonder they tried to clean the crime scene. They paved over everything within days. But they couldn't bury this story.
What do you know? Here are the images that they attached from our hour earlier show, and they were circling what they thought could be some white on them, which would be like the Rode microphone. Of course, it does say Rode on it in white. Do we have that Rode image too of the mic? There you go. So this is what they're looking for. They're going, actually, there's writing on that. So if it was all over him, you're going to get pieces that have white on it. And so we enhanced the images. And I am further compelled that this person is correct. I will show you this, particularly because I thought you could say, oh, maybe that's a sun glint here and there. Not on that piece on the right-hand corner. That is white on there, and on some other pieces. We can go closer here so that this person can see it even better. That's white. This is not someone's sunglasses that we are looking at. I can show you another more enhanced photos here, particularly that one in the right corner is just so obviously a piece of a shard of something. And I believe this is Charlie's Rode microphone. This person was on the money. There is white. There's predictable white, of course, on the edges. That sort of happens when you shatter glass in general. But I also wanted to show you guys these, hyper-focused pieces so that you could see that this person is definitively onto something.
It's a well-known Mossad assassination technique. But the high-level cover-up gets even worse. Because FBI leadership, including Kash Patel and then Deputy Dan Bongino, may have sacrificed American lives to cover up Israel's crime of the century.
The explosive itself was purchased in May 2025 from the Accurate Energetic Systems plant in Tennessee. There is a strong evidence suggesting the same device was tested at Fort Huachuca in the days leading up to the event. That's why there were shards of glass all over the floor of the van they hauled Charlie away in. That's why they poured several feet of concrete over the murder scene the same night. 1 month later, they blew up the plant in Tennessee and called it an accident. 16 Americans died in the blast. That's how paranoid they were about the truth getting out.
Analysts who've gone through the full archive say that the plotters actually debated whether they should take out Tucker Carlson or Charlie Kirk. In the end, they settled on Charlie, because he was deemed more problematic to Netanyahu's plans. The war with Iran would have been politically impossible if Charlie Kirk had still been alive. Take a moment and go back and watch the clips of Charlie publicly congratulating Trump for standing strong against Israel and refusing to start a war with Iran. He praised him for putting America first and refusing to sacrifice more American lives for the Zionist death cult. Now, look at what happened after Charlie was gone. Everything changed.
We've actually learned some new information regarding Israel and Israeli explosive companies based on American soil. And not just on American soil, but in immediate proximity to Fort Huachuca. where Mitch Snow saw Erica Kirk and company in the days preceding Charlie Kirk's murder, and where the federal government tests specialized explosive devices, anti-EMP technology, like the technology from Lori Franspay's defense contracting business, or the shape charge explosives from an Israeli company called Elbit Systems of America. So kind of like the United States government they contract with, they put America in their name, but they're actually Israeli. And that doesn't stop them from actively contracting with the United States government on Fort Huachuca, or from operating a research and development manufacturing facility based in Chandler, Arizona. And what are these people researching and developing? What is this Israeli corporation contracting with the United States government actually working on? Shape charge explosives. Kind of like Accurate Energetic Systems in McAllen, Tennessee. At least they used to be in McAllen, Tennessee, until their facility exploded, killed all the employees that were working that day, and attracted the attention of Pete Hegseth, who diverted his flight from none other than Fort Huachuca to Washington, D.C. to fly low and slow over the destruction while it was smoldering to see it for himself. So what's Elbit Systems of America's connection to all of this? And why is an Israeli explosives company allowed to operate on American soil in the first place, let alone contract with the United States government on Fort Huachuca?
According to Iran, there's one little known fact that ties it all together.
The same month Charlie Kirk died, Pete Hegseth bought $2 million worth of lobster and crab for the troops, and the US military spent $300 billion in a single month. The most it has ever spent. They were already planning the war. The Iran war literally started the day he died. Charlie Kirk was its first casualty.
It's no wonder Erica Kirk is panicking, sending legal threat letters left and right, and avoiding the public for fear of being called out for what she is. Her foreknowledge of events is beyond spooky, and evidence is emerging from resurfaced footage of Charlie Kirk himself, suggesting that she had foreknowledge of the first Trump assassination attempt. You know, the one that Trump is strangely refusing to investigate, preferring to brush it under the carpet, as though he knows that exposing the truth would be too dangerous.
Erica, his wife, had prior knowledge of at least some of the things that happened around him leading up to the 10th of September. Not small things. Let me play that clip and we take it from there. We are traveling back in time and Charlie is talking about Donald Trump's unaliving attempt.
Tell us what your initial reaction was that night.
It was a really strange day. I usually turn my phone off on Saturdays. I honor the Shabbat, and I'm not, but I think it's important that we Christians do. And yet I had my phone on because I was trying to help make J.D. Vance the Vice President of the United States. So it's had some calls to make. Let's just put it that way.
We'll put it that way.
And so my phone was on, and Erica, my wife, was like, "Yeah, I think God wants you to have your phone on today." I was like, "Okay, sure." So we went down to our complex has this big gym, and I had my daughter in my arms, and I just turned to the television screen. And because I saw Trump take the stage, okay, whatever. And then, for 10 minutes, I just turned to the screen, and all of a sudden, there's a bunch of agents around Trump. And I'm like,
do you hear the pop?
No, there's no audio because it's a gym.
Okay, so there's no audio.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this
you're
without.
Looking at it, and you're
so my initial reaction was, oh, this is like 2016. Remember when all the agents came around Trump? Yeah. Al's story was the lead, and it was a false alarm in the crowd. I was like, okay, this is just like a false alarm thing. I was like, wait a second, he has blood on him.
So Erica casually said to Charlie that God wanted him to keep his phone on today. We've seen enough of Erica's painfully scripted speeches to know that she uses the scriptures and God references to manipulate situations. Was this the case too? How did she know that something was going to happen on that day? Questions were also asked about her foreknowledge of the White House correspondent's dinner shooting. Just quickly, if Kash Patel had been running his digital operations behind VP.net, foreign adversaries wouldn't have stood a chance. He wouldn't be compromised. This is the world we live in today. Netanyahu told us the internet is their new battleground. You should take that very seriously. Don't make the same mistake as Kash. Check out vp.net/TPV. It's fast, unhackable, and uses groundbreaking cryptographic technology that means you don't have to trust anybody. It's as low as $5.55 a month for our audiences. Go to vp.net/TPV to learn how to disappear from their systems for good.